My small town is fighting over Chinese food. This is entitled People on the Large Scale, and it's too hilarious not to share. I live in a small town, population 7,000 roughly, and everyone is currently divided over a Chinese restaurant. It's been in the local news and Australia's national news. That's how crazy people are getting. I'm going to try to keep this short. Back in May of this year, a local Chinese restaurant owner informed the local club he was renting kitchen space from that he wanted to retire, gave them his resignation, stating his last operating day would be the end of June. The local Karens and Kevins en masse. One local, who we will call Big Kevin, teamed up with another local we will call Mega Karen, and they decided they were going to protest against the closing and force the club to keep the restaurant open. This poor man has been running the restaurant for 30 years without break and just wanted to retire peacefully. But no, Mega Karen started a petition while Big Kevin organized a protest. Now our third major player in this we shall call the Wicked Witch. The Wicked Witch, working in the shadows, starts leaking to the local paper that said restaurant owner is being forced out by the club. False allegation. The club gives their first and only statement about the situation, stating that the restaurant owner retired and even produced his retirement paperwork for proof. At this point the national news comes into it and does an interview with restaurant owner, who states on the news he wants to retire. You would think that would be the end of it, but no. Mega Karen gets 1,200 or so signatures on her petition, which she hands to the club. The club's lawyer calls it invalid due to over 900 of the signatures not being filled in properly. Signature printed name, club membership number or phone number needed by each person to make it valid, or same person signed multiple petition slots. So Mega Karen starts a new petition which only gets 74 signatures. Meanwhile, Big Kevin organizes a protest he doesn't show up for, nor does anyone else. The club then hosts a meeting for all club members, members of the general public and the club's board to discuss what is going on, but again, for all the complaints, no one shows up. Now Mega Karen and Big Kevin are demanding that a new meeting be held, the club's general manager be fired and the club's board be disbanded and a new board elected. The Wicked Witch then once again goes to the newspaper with a statement from the restaurant owner. The restaurant has now been closed for over a month and states that now the club has renovated the restaurant and has plans to start a new restaurant. The old restaurant would considered renting the space again. Before you question why the space wasn't renovated before this point, it was part of the Chinese restaurant's agreement that they would maintain and renovated the space as they saw fit, as stated by the club in their public statement. And she tells the paper that the whole reason the Chinese restaurant left wasn't because they wanted to retire, but because their rent increased from the $285 a week they have paid for 28 years to $385 a week last year, and then $485 a week this year for a restaurant space, when other local restaurants are paying $2,500 a week plus for the same or smaller places. So Big Kevin, Mega Karen and a ton of other locals were all shocked at the cost of rent, which they are all now saying should have been kept at the $285 to encourage the restaurant to stay, even though it meant likely closing the club since they were struggling to afford running costs. The club even broke down their running costs to show the members and locals how expensive it is to keep the place open, but still not good enough. I can't with this town anymore.